We are on page 4, section 5.2. We are doing solving systems of linear equations. Last time, 5.1, we did by graphing. Now we are going to use substitution. Look some examples. So, what does substitution mean? It means what? To substitute, right? So we have two variables, two equations. We can only solve directly one variable, one equation, like in your 152A. So we have two of them. What we try to do is make it simpler from two equations, two variables, down to one equation, one variable. How can we do that? One way is by substitution. So if I can get one variable by itself, say get x by itself, it says equal to this, so they are the same. So we can replace x by equivalent thing, then you move into that place. Then see what will happen. First one is say 2x, right? But now my x will be replaced by what? Its equivalent thing, which is what? Y plus 2, right? So 2 of those x plus y is 10. That means we substitute the second equation for x and replace it by y plus 2 to the first equation. If we do that, two variables, two equations, now what do we have? Just one variable, one equation. Can we solve it? Right? How should we start? Distribute. 2y plus 4, right? Then what do we do to solve a linear equation? Combine like terms. Make two sides simpler, right? Then what do we do? Get a variable by itself. Right? Then get rid of 3, do the opposite, y is 2. Right? Are we done? Now quite. What was the question? Solving. Find the value of x and y. That's what we try to do. Right? So we have y now. Then we need to find out what is the x. So we can just plug in one of them. Either one will work. Just find the simple one. Second one looks simpler. X equals what? Y plus 2. So we just plug in y with 2, right? So x will be 2 plus 2 equals 4. So what's our answer? So you will write x and y equals what? X is 4. That will be your answer. How do you know you are doing right? You plug in both. X is 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus y is 2, so it's 10. Yes, you check. Then plug in second one. X is, y is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. That's x. Yes, so you check. Make sure you check, and it works for both. So what do? We will first get one variable by itself, either x or y. Like this one, we get x by itself in one equation, right? Second one, you substitute in this one, x, into another equation. And third one, once you substitute in, then you will have one variable, one equation. Then you solve for y. Once you solve for y, you find x by plugging one of the equations and find your value of y. Then you check. That's how we usually do. Okay, so let's look at another example. So first step, you will get one variable by itself, so you can plug into another one and to resolve it. So by looking at this, which thing you think you will get by itself first? X or y? If you do y, then you have to divide it by 2. You have fraction. Not a good idea. Okay? So we can just do this one, get x by itself. How do we get x by itself? We move y away. So x is what? Negative 2y plus 7. Right? Then what do we do after that? We can just substitute in. So your x is this, same thing as this one. So you substitute into another one, right? So your x. So replace it by 2y plus 7. So that will be 2y plus 7, right? Copy down those. So we make two variables, two equations, down to one variable, one equation. And then resolve it. Distribute 4y plus what? 14 plus 2y equals 13, right? Then what do we do? Combine like terms. Simplify each side. 6y plus 14, right? Then move a number to another side. 6y equals what? Negative 1. Is that right? Did I copy the question correctly? Yes. Oh, 2y. I was wondering. So what happened is, here is the 2. So I shall have 2 here, right? So this is negative. So this negative 4 plus 2 is what? Negative 2 now. Negative 2. So I shall have negative 2y here, right? Then what's my y? Divided by negative 2, my y is half. Right? Then what's your x? So we can just plug in here directly, right? Plug in x equals negative 2y plus 7. So you plug in x is what? Negative 2 times half plus 7. Then what's your x? How do you multiply your fraction? The one underneath, cancel out. That will be negative 1 plus 7 is 6. So your x and y is what? 1 is 6, 1 is half. Of course, you plug in and you check. They are okay. Let's look another example. So for substitution, what do we do first? Usually, you get one variable by itself. right? You get one variable by itself, then you substitute in to another equation to resolve it. Okay? So, look this example, number 3. Which thing, x or y, you can get by itself the most easy way? Take a look at all this, right? So you see all this y already by itself. So all I need to do is just what? Move this away, right? So y is what? 3x plus 6. Once you can get a variable, one variable by itself, then you substitute in to another equation. So y is here, it's the same thing as this, so you will replace that place, right? So here say first equation, 3 minus what? Minus 3, then x, y, minus 3y. So y will be replaced by the standalone y in terms of x, right? So you put back to the first equation, you make one equation, one variable. Then we try to resolve it. So what do? Distribute. So that would be 7x minus 9x minus 18 equals negative 14. Is that right? Then what do we have? Combine like terms, right? Then what do? Move a number to another side. Right? Then divided by negative 2, x is what? Negative 2. We'll get a 1 of the answer. Then plug in a simple one, plug in y equals 3x plus 6. Then what's our y? Negative 2 times 3, negative 6 plus 6 is what? 0. So the answer is what? xy equals, x is here, negative 2, y is 0. Then you plug in both to check, make sure they are correct, right? Let's look at the next one. So what's the first step to use substitution to solve the system of linear equations, right? We get a one variable by itself. Do we have one right now? Yes, we already have. So we already have one. So we plug in to where? To another one. X, internal x, we use 6 plus 2y, right? So we plug in the first one. That's our x in terms of what? Y. Then minus y equals 3, right? Then you distribute. Half times 6, 3. Half times 2, 1. Y minus y equals what? 3. Then we'll combine like terms. It becomes what? 3 equals 3. What happened? Before, when we substitute in, we solve a variable. Now, the variables disappeared on you. Right? But is 3 always equal 3? Yes. Or you move a number to another side, what do you get? 0 equals 0. Is 0 always equal 0? Yes. What happened? that means those conditions always happen. 3 equals 3, always true. That means whatever your y is, right? In this case, it means what? The condition always true. That means the two lines are the same. Two lines are the same means what? When the condition is always true, that means those two things are identical, right? Always true. Then you have identical lines. So when we have identical lines, right, it means how many solutions we have? Your x and y are infinite solutions. Remember, we have 3 conditions when we solve a system of linear equations. You might have what? One answer. You might have what? 0 answers, no solutions. Or you might have infinite solutions, right? So when the conditions are always true, that means you have identical lines. If it's always false, that means you cannot find the answer, right? Or you can find that one answer, as we did earlier. Take a look, number 5. We are on the page 5 now. So, we are practicing the second method by substitution. That means we have to get one variable by itself. Look at those conditions. Just guess which one will look simpler for you to get by itself. If you get x by itself, right, you divide it by 6, well, you have some fractions. So we look the second one. You will get better when you have more experience. But for now, just look at the second one, x and 8. So if you get x by itself, right, on the second one, you find out what would you have? You will have negative 4x equals 8y, right? Then if you divide it by negative 4, x is what? Negative 2y. So it still gives you a whole number without fractions. That would be easier to do for now, right? So you get one variable by itself from the second equation. So you will put it into another equation. So your x is now what? Now is what? Negative 2y. You will sub in to that one, and plus what? 12y equals 5. Then what do we do? That's negative 12y plus 12y equals 5. Then we combine like terms, right? Minus $5 plus $5, you have 0. Don't give me 1y this way. Okay, it's 0y means what? 0. Okay, 0 equals 5. Is that possible? Not possible. So if it's not possible, it means what? Doesn't matter what kind of x and y you have, you always have problem. It's not possible to make 0 equals 5. That means what? You have no solution. Instead of using graphing, then you can do that by graphing, you can see, right? But when you solve it mathematically using substitution, if you find one answer, that's this condition. If you find a conflict, That means second condition, no solution. Or like another example we have, it's always 0 equals 0, 3 equals 3. Doesn't matter x and y, how you put in. Then that means two lines are identical cause this condition. That means you will have infinite solutions. Got an idea? This is section 5.2.